Hi, this is Andres, and this is the first in a series of videos I'm going to post to show how I usually approach digital transformation projects, from the design phase to the execution, delivery, and go live. We're going to use an invoicing process as our context, and here we have an existing application made with Power Apps whose users use to create invoices, generate PDFs based on a Microsoft Word template, and send it via email. You can already see here the link in up. I think it's here up. You can already see this app working from a video posted a few weeks ago. But in today's video, we are going to cover what would be the statement of the problem and the proposed solution. First, we look at the description of the problem at a functional level, nothing technical. And this is what we call the as-is situation. Second, we'll showcase the use of user stories to find out what's not working and what needs to be improved. And finally, I'll present to you the proposed solution at a functional level. This is what we call the to be. Let's go. Okay, let's start with the as-is situation. Here, basically, I'm showing you the functional description of the current process. We can see that it starts with the account manager creating an invoice from an existing application made out of with Power Apps, and then he or she will trigger the creation of the invoice PDF. Afterwards, an automation will create the PDF based on a Word template, and it will place this PDF inside SharePoint Online. And then the account manager will need to download manually the PDF from SharePoint and send it to the customer via email using Outlook. In the bottom, you can see the icons glossary where I basically explain all the moving pieces that have a part in this process. So first, we have to identify which parts of the process are actuated by a human or are completely automated. Then we have to identify in the as-is situation, in the current situation, that the first steps take place via an application, a user interface made out with Power Apps, and then that the automation currently is made with Power Automate, uses this Word template, this Microsoft Word icon, and the PDF is placed in SharePoint, so here's the SharePoint icon. And then basically the last step is SharePoint icon again, because we have to download the PDF, and the Outlook icon representing sending the email to the customer. Well, the current process has big room for improvement, and so we're going to gather some requirements, understand what's working and what's not, to see where we can do better. One of the best ways to doing so is having workshops with the key stakeholders or the key users who take part in the process. And the outcome usually is a user story. Okay, so what's a user story? Basically, in a user story, what we do is define, from the perspective of an active actor of the process, what are their needs and the outcomes, the specific improvements that the new process needs to deliver, and the behaviors that this actor needs to start doing and the behaviors that they need to stop doing. So, for instance, here as an account manager, I need to save time when sending invoices to my clients to be able to focus on delivering a great service instead of dealing with red tape. So, as for specific improvements, as soon as the account manager confirms that the invoice is okay, then the system needs to create the PDF by itself automatically and send it to the client via email from a shared mailbox, for example, invoices@mycompany.com. Also, the account manager wants to be able to select different templates depending, for example, on the client's language, because we have Spanish speaking and English speaking clients. All right, but that's the things that the system needs to start doing, let's say. So it's specific improvements from the process perspective, but then the account managers need to change their behavior, and this speaks to a different discipline inside the consulting world, which is change management. And it's very important that we address this changing of behaviors, because otherwise we're going to end up with these situations where, after spending a lot of money in improving our process or implementing a new software or whatever, then we are going to have some users that use the old ways and others that have moved towards the new ways. And then this is going to create shadow IT, it's going to create silos of information, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to clock the way we work and make us less effective instead of increase our productivity. So clearly the account managers need to start doing a new behavior, which is store the email addresses from the client. They have to be in charge of introducing that new information that's going to be vital for the system to send the invoices to the correct email address. And of course, keep that information up to date. Now they have to stop doing this manual process of downloading the PDF and sending any payment information or these invoices to the client directly by themselves. And this is going to be very important for the new process to be successful. And before moving on, we have two more user stories that are related to security. So as an account manager, I need to work only with the accounts from my portfolio to be able to focus only on my clients and avoid human error. And this is something that is not going to affect change management because it's solely in the side of the new process, the specific improvements that we have to deliver in the new implementation, which is going to be taking care that account managers can only create, read, and edit accounts and invoices that they manage, and they cannot do any action with others, the accounts or invoices from the other account managers. And of course, they cannot delete any of this information. And the last user story is on another side of the story, which is the director. As a director, I need to be able to work with all accounts and all invoices to be able to help my employees, my team, and solve any issue that may happen with the invoices. So clearly they need full access to accounts and invoices. All right, so now that we have these additional requirements that we gathered using the user stories, we have to formalize all this new knowledge using, and again, a functional diagram describing the desired or the to-be situation. So basically, we have reduced the amount of steps of the process so that the account manager will still create the invoices in the existing application, but then he or she will mark the invoice as ready to be sent to the client. And when that happens, the automation by itself, without human intervention, will create the PDF based on the selected Word template, then store it in SharePoint and send it to the client via email. Great, so to summarize, we've seen how we consultants usually approach what's called the discovery phase of a project. First, we document the current state, the as-is situation. Then we gather the new requirements via workshops with the right stakeholders. And finally, we define the desired state, the to-be situation, leveraging all this new knowledge. Now, in the next video in this series, we'll look in more detail on the technical side of the assessment of what we exactly need to do for the implementation phase that will come next. I hope you liked it, and thank you very much for getting to this point. See you next time.